Hello everybody, good evening, welcome to That's Football. A little bit late today, but we have got a big evening of Premier League football. In fact, we've got two going on at the same time because we've got Arsenal, Everton and Chelsea, Newcastle, both kicking off at 5:30. A lot of this to do with the Champions League schedule midweek and the coming midweek as well. Obviously, Manchester City go to West Ham at 8 o'clock. We're in London, aren't we? We're in London, and I'll be in London on Monday night for the start of Baller League. If you want to get some tickets and see us down there, the first ever game for the Gold Devils, the link is in the live chat for you. Get your tickets for Baller League. But we're ready to go at Chelsea. We're ready to go at the Emirates. I hope you're all ready to go yourselves. Team news is quite interesting. Tarkowski not available for Everton, and neither is Branthwaite. So they're playing O'Brien and Keane at centre-back, which means Garner is at right-back. I think this is going to be quite a straightforward game for Arsenal. I don't know. Everton are good on the road, but I think it will be. I think it might be quite straightforward for them. We will see. Chelsea, Arsenal, not much changes either. They've gone very strong. Saka, Madueke playing off the left. Havertz, Eze, Zubimendi, Rice, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, Calafiore, Raya. It's a very strong Arsenal side. As for Chelsea, they've gone relatively strong as well. Caicedo, James and Enzo in the midfield. Garnacho, Palmer and Padro as the front three. Gusto, Fofana, Chalobah, Cucurella. Obviously, Neto suspended after his red card against Arsenal. Newcastle, also in the Champions League. Ramsdale, Livramento, Tau, Botman, Hall. Ramsey, Willock, Voltemeda, Murphy, Barnes and Gordon. No place for Tonali in the team for Newcastle. Is that injury-led? Anybody know in the chat? I think that's a big miss for Newcastle. Is he suspended? Is he injured? Yeah. United FW says KSI's team is insane. They just announced it. I mean, he is the president of Baller League. I've not seen it myself yet. So, where's it been announced? Players coming out onto the pitch anyway. Oh, here we are. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Okay, we are live here anyway. That's what matters. We're sponsored by Boohoo Man on the show today. That is why I've got my Boohoo Man hoodie on. Today's show is sponsored by Boohoo Man, which means we've got a 10% code for you by using the code GOALBRIDGE. That's 10% on top of anything else on their website. So they might have something that's 40% off. You can use the GOALBRIDGE code and get 10% off on top of any other discount on the boohooman.com website. You can get hoodies like this. They've got gymwear, Netflix and chillwear everywhere. They've got everything you need. So check out boohooman.com. And as always, they've got a little bit of trivia for you. So if you were to know the answer to this question, a little bit of trivia before we start. I was born on the 28th of October 1980. I began my professional career at Leeds. I joined Man United for around 7 million in 2004. During my time at United, I made 61 Premier League appearances and scored 7 goals, playing as a centre-forward and a midfielder. I scored the winning goal with a stunning volley against Norwich City during my first season at Man United. In 2006, I suffered a broken leg when blocking a free kick from John Onorisa in an FA Cup match against Liverpool. I left United in 2007 to join Newcastle, and I eventually hung up my boots in 2018 after my spell with Notts County. Now, before we get the answer to that, big thank you to Boohoo Man for supporting today's show. Don't forget you can get an extra discount when you use the code GOALBRIDGE at checkout. So what you're waiting for, click the link in the description or scan the QR code and head over there now. And you can get lovely hoodies like this in lots of different colours as well. And you can check that out with the code GOALBRIDGE. The answer to the question Well, let's see if anybody's got it in the chat. Yeah, lots of people have got it in the chat. Well done. It was, of course, Alan Smudger Smith. Interesting player. I thought he was all right at Man United. I mean, for a Leeds player to come into Man United, I think it's always difficult. And he did all right. He did all right, to be fair. But it was Alan Smith. Well done. Don't forget to check out boohooman.com. Link in the description. Scan the QR code. Got 2 games going on at the moment. About to start. Everton. And away we go. Oh, what's Declan Rice done here? Straight down. He has gone down, Declan Rice. Man down. He goes up for a header. His shoe comes off. It looks quite innocuous. Okay, there we go. I've just lost the live chat there. What's the featured game? I've got Arsenal Everton on here, but to be fair, I've got Chelsea Newcastle on here as well. So we were doing this on Tuesday and Wednesday with the Champions League. We had double watch along, so I'm well used to it. I don't normally do 2 games in the Premier League, but they are both kicking off at 5:30, and they're both on, so we may as well cover them. It's interesting, the connotations actually of the. It's a big night, you know. I think the Champions League was so good, and so I mean, I don't think, is the Champions League better than the Premier League at the moment? Maybe that's an early poll. In fact, I will run that as a poll. But this is a massive night in the Premier League. Relegation, West Ham. Title, Man City. Top 4, Chelsea. Title, Arsenal. Very important that teams get results. Done the poll there. Is the Champions League better than the Premier League now? Yes or no? Thank you very much for your super chat, UTD. KSI's team is insane. They just announced it. I'm not playing KSI's team anyway. We're playing Deport Rio, who have also spent a load of money. Why did the Premier League lack world-class attackers and superstars when they're the richest, or are the teams more focused on defence, says Mohammed? I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of midfielder, there are a lot of good attackers in world football. Are they all in the Premier League? You could debate that. We are doing West Ham at 8 o'clock. Yes, got United stand at 7:30, and straight after this, and then we've got 8 o'clock. Man City, West Ham. At West Ham. I've had a terrible start in Premier League predictions. I said that Bournemouth would beat Burnley, draw. I said that Sunderland would beat Sunderland would beat Brighton, Brighton win. So my predictions are terrible, and I've predicted that West Ham are going to beat Man City. So yeah. Reese says, only one English team last 3 years in the Champions League finals. Do you think the Premier League is just harder where other leagues can rest players, or has the Premier League's football quality been dropping for a while now? I think there's been a big drop-off in the Premier League this season. Certainly. But I also agree with you that the Premier League can be very competitive. Even leagues like La Liga, where Barcelona and Real Madrid compete with each other, they're winning most weeks. Whereas in the Premier League, it's very, very competitive, isn't it? But I think from Arsenal's point of view, it's going to be definitely up against the low block tonight. Leverkusen drew, by the way, against Bayern Munich today. Bayern Munich did have 2 players sent off. But that's good from Arsenal trying to move the ball quickly. Very quick free kick from Calafiori there, and that's something they're going to really look to try and do. K. Dot says, do you agree with Michael Owen that Liverpool still have the best team? I think Michael Owen spends too much time watching horses and not football because he's talking absolute crap there, and even a Liverpool fan know that. Liverpool, look, I've given Liverpool respect under Klopp. I gave them respect under Slot last year. They're a terrible team this year. They have a lack of identity. They're too pragmatic. I think they're a terrible team this year. So I don't know what Michael Owen's talking about, because the team that was brilliant last year doesn't exist now. So where he's getting this great, this Liverpool team still the best in the Prem, I just don't know. Madueke with the shot there. What was going on with the camera there? I thought that was a replay. What was that rubbish? What was that shit then? With that Madueke shot? The fuck was that? What the hell was that? Did my eyes deceive me, or did they move away from main camera? I thought it was a fucking replay. What was that shit? No. We don't do that, thank you. Bloody hell. I wonder what was going on. I was like, oh, I didn't see this. Nah. We're not doing that, thanks. That was weird. So basically, I don't know whether it was like it for you. On UK TV, Madueke's shot was shown from a camera that wasn't the normal camera. It was weird. Anyway, are you going to do the Man City game, says Vicky? Yes. Camera angle will give you PTSD from RefCam, says Ian O'Connell. Exactly. And Snoopy10 with the super chat says, do you think perhaps we're on a Ronaldo and Messi hangover currently, that our expectation of football talent is unsustainably high? Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair point. But, you know, we did a Bundesliga watch-along last night for Mönchengladbach against St. Pauli, which I would never normally watch, but we have the Bundesliga rights on a Friday night, and I've got into the Bundesliga, and it was a good game. Mid-table Bundesliga side against the relegation threatened side, and it was actually a good game. So, you know, and it was a good game because of the way they played the game. I don't think you could have watched Bournemouth-Burnley today and gone, oh, it's a good game, another bloody 0-0. Have you got a new chair, Mark? Yes, I have. Because the old chair, I think, was broken. It was moving around too much and it was hurting my back. So I've had this one for a while. It's Razor. So there we go. It's nice and comfy. It's got a lot better back support, lower back. My old one was really hard on the back. It's got really good back support. And actually, I've got a headrest as well. If I put this on, yabba dabba do, I can actually give myself some neck support. That was about a bit of that. Oh, we're cooking. That's actually good. There we go. Be off to a winning start with Man United tomorrow, yes. Now says, question, you didn't enjoy City's football over the years, and now when a new style is presented, you don't like that either. What do you want? Yeah, I mean, that's a terrible, terrible comment, mate. So I didn't like tiki-taka because I didn't like Barcelona's tiki-taka either. Like, you pass it around, you won't put a cross in the box. And I don't like long throw-ins and corner kicks. So I don't like two styles of football, of which there's probably 50. So I like the way PSG play. I like the way Klopp played. I like the way Eddie Howe plays. I like the way Marco Silva plays. So there's plenty of evidence. Oh, good chance for Chelsea, headed over the bar. I think it was Fofana. Yeah. And I don't mind Man City's style of play this year. It's a little bit quicker. I'm looking forward to City's game tonight. West Ham. Oh. Where does Cucurella rank among left backs? In the Premier League, I'd say he's top 3. I think Lewis Hall is in there as well. And Cucurella. And probably this season, I think O'Reilly's done really well at Man City. Another block. I'll tell you what, Everton are doing more blocks than Lego at the moment. Saka, wide. You can definitely see Arsenal trying to move the ball a lot quicker here. They're up against that low block tonight. Luke Shaw, I wouldn't put him in the top 10. I think he's crap at left back. Angel, I did see Leverkusen draw with Bayern. Do you think Leverkusen stands a chance at the Emirates? No, because I think they'll play quite open. Arsenal are playing with a good tempo here tonight. What do you think about the fact, says Andy, that Chelsea sold Hall and Livramento? It's not as bad because when you look at what Chelsea have got, Cucurella and Gusto are actually quite good. So at least they let players go in positions where they've got good players. I mean, yeah. What happened to the Bundesliga streams? No footage, says Ashton. Oh, I just can't be bothered. Basically. It's a pain in the arse running 2 streams at the same time. Do you think world class has changed over the years? How would you compare world class players of today to those of previous eras? Who's world class today? K. Dirk. I mean, Erling Haaland's world class today. He'd probably be world class in any other era. Depends what your class is world class. What a save! Oh, bloody hell. Pikford gives the wink. And it was offside anyway. He's probably slightly annoyed that that's offside because it was an incredible save. I mean, Saka is miles offside. What a save by Pikford that is. That is an incredible save. Reactions of a cat. But it wouldn't have counted anyway because it would have been offside. Yeah, I've never been really that convinced about Pikford, if I'm being honest. That's not pleasing me at all. Is that on the right way, or should it be? Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, I've never been like a massive fan of Pikford, but I think there is an acceptance nowadays that he is the best. English goalkeeper. I don't know what that says about English goalkeeping. Have you got the Easter eggs yet, Mark? Says Matty. No, mate. No. Cole Palmer's just had a shot wide for Chelsea. Still 0-0 in all these games. Chelsea pushing the most. Newcastle really don't have a lot to play for, do they? I mean, I'm going to quick look at the league table for you. That's how things look at the moment. Obviously, Man City have got their game to play. Newcastle not even in the screen. Even a win tonight for them, they're not going to be able to... Oh, look, Madueke's going to get there ahead of Keane. Easy. No, that's not a foul. That didn't look like a foul to me. So Newcastle have got 40 points as things stand. And... yeah, if you want Champions League football, you're going to need a lot more than... I mean... Nah, I just don't see it for Newcastle. I really don't. Was this a foul on Madueke? Actually, you know, from that angle, it does look more of a foul. But the referee cannot be... VAR cannot intervene on a foul like that. So play on. It's fair, it probably was a foul because there's no way Michael Keane was getting that ball. Position you'd play if you were a player, says RJZ. Well, I used to be a player. I'd play probably holding midfield, I think. K Dirk says world class has been diluted over the years, but Pikford is irrefutably class. I've always been quite stingy on world class anyway. You know, when I think about world class, I'm talking Ronaldinho. I'm talking, you know, Zidane. I'm not talking... Look, Declan Rice is world class in the modern game. Would he be would he be world class in the 90s? I don't know. Would Declan Rice stand up to Vieira and Keane? Would Declan Rice get in an Arsenal team in the late 90s? I don't know. I think that's the way I always look at it. Would Bruno Fernandes get in a Man United side in the 90s? No. He'd be on the bench. And he's our best player now. Everton on the back post! Oh, what a block! Oh, now Arsenal are doing more blocks than Lego. I think it was Calafiori that time. That was a big chance for Everton. I don't know that Declan Rice would get in an Arsenal team. I'm thinking Petit and Vieira worked really well. I mean, Petit was a World Cup winner! Oh, he's in the post! Oh, what's going on? McNeil hits the post from distance. I can't believe it, says David Moyes. I can't believe that. I can't believe it. Lovely run by Dwight McNeil. Leaves Declan Rice for dead. Shoots. Oh, what a goal that would have been. That would have been one of the goals of the season by McNeil. Look at that. That technique is absolutely brilliant. Curl on that. Oh, he deserved to go in. I'll tell you what, Pickford's made a world-class save that won't count because it was offside. And McNeil's nearly scored a great goal that won't count because it's hit the post. Is this live again, or are we watching... Oh, no, this is the replay. That was Dwight McNeil as well. What a block, Calafiori. Oh, Calafiori's block there is incredible. Watch Calafiori's block. He just throws his leg up in the air. I think Rayhan might have saved it, but brilliant block by Calafiori. Newcastle have scored, by the way. Slide rule pass. Is there an offside there? Anthony Gordon? They're asking for it. I tell you what, if that's offside, that's stupid by Newcastle because he's sweated the pass. Looks like there might be an injury for Arsenal here. It's all going on. Anthony Gordon with an open goal, sweaty goal as well. Timbers injured here for Arsenal. We're just waiting to see if this is offside. Well, that's not offside. Is the pass offside? No. That'll be a goal. That'll be a goal. Calafiori with an ninja save, says Super Daddy. It was great, incredible. Willock with the assist. And a sweaty little pass into Anthony Gordon. 1-0 to Newcastle. Tell you what, these games are good tonight. If you could sign any player from Newcastle, who would it be? Probably Tonali. Where is Tonali now? Does anybody know? He's ill. He's ill. Thank you very much. He's on his way to City. Well, if Tonali goes to City, United get Elliot Anderson, so it's a win-win, isn't it? I tell you what, if you're a Man City fan, though, you'd be feeling a little bit better about the last few minutes. I thought Arsenal started off quite well, but Everton with a couple of good chances here. Rosignol at, says Zeti. Well, you need Pat Butcher to turn up on the wing. Ron says, Mark, good day. What minute is your Chelsea game on? I'll match mine. Thanks, mate. I've just gone about halfway through 20. 20 and 30. We are on for the West Ham game, KH. Yeah. Please do share the video, by the way. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you, Ron. I've had a super chat from Jordan. He says, Mark, what's your predictions for Baller League on Monday? It's very difficult to say because it's the first game week, isn't it? We're playing Deport Rio, which is Micah Richards and Daniel Sturridge's team. They've spent a lot of money. Some might say illegally, which is technically cheating. So, and we're a brand new team who've only trained twice and have never played a competitive game. So we're definitely the underdogs. It might take us a few weeks to get going, but we're not going to look to take a few weeks. So we'll see how we go. And there's a lot of transfer activity for the other teams as well. So I think it's going to be an interesting week. If you want to get yourself down there on Monday, we're playing at 6:20. A ticket keeps you in for the whole time if you want to be there. So it starts at 5 and goes through till about 10:30 at night. So it's good. It's a good atmosphere. I'm going to stay there for the whole lot this week. But we're on at 6:20. So links in the live chat. Get your tickets. I don't know whether the bookies do odds on who's going to win it. Have a look. Odds checker. No, that must be old because it's got M7 and 26s, so I don't think they've updated it. Yellow card in the Chelsea game. I think Gusto, no, Fofana. A little bit unlucky because he went for the ball there. A chance for Havertz. Never. Massive dive. Massive dive. He wants a foul though, Havertz. No. You can't run across somebody's path and get a penalty. Play on. Great ball by Eze, I agree, AFC. Man City fans will be spewing if that's a penalty. I mean, I don't really care, but I don't think it was a penalty. Lewis Hall would be such a game changer at United. Stephen Willock says, I'm 35 and I've never heard of a sweaty pass. It's a FIFA computer game thing, really. because you play online a lot, people really just want to win. So when they're running through one-on-one, a lot of time, if there's a second player there, they'll square it for the tap-in, and it's called a sweaty pass. But it comes from gaming, yeah. But Newcastle winning 1-0 here at Stamford Bridge. Bit of pressure on Chelsea. Of course, they're going to have to score 3 goals without reply against PSG. You got no chance. That's what you got. It's a lovely pass by Eze. It's not a penalty for me. He leaves his foot there for the contact. Watch. He leaves the foot there and wait. Well, referee's looking right at it. Havertz is still desperate to get it. Calafiori on the back post. Dale says, will your tactics be the same as Southgate? Mate, my tactics will... The thing about my tactics, they will only change to be more negative if the positive doesn't work. We won't be starting negative, let's put it that way. I've done my research on Baller League. Get a lot more goals in the German Baller League than you do in the UK. Because people play... A lot of people said Wembley Rangers won it last year playing Park the Bus. Was it a penalty? I'm going to run a poll. 72% of you say that the Champions League is better than the Prem now. Was it a penalty for Arsenal? Yes or no? Rajaf's really happy that Arteta finally made the right decision and started Madueke. His directness and willingness to always make something happen is excellent. Evan Robbie says, I'm loving this, ref. We've got nearly 10,000 watching tonight, so please do share the video. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Absolute legends, as always. We are doing Man City against West Ham as well. Champions League nights, Tuesday, Wednesday. Liverpool Spurs tomorrow. So loads and loads of football on That's Football at the moment. And in the international break, we will be doing the World Cup qualifiers as well, because we're going full-time World Cup for the World Cup. Big tournament on That's Football. I haven't decided whether I'm going over to the States yet. If you want to watch Baller League, actually, on Monday, we will have our own streaming booth, which I will be in and out of. I'll get some of our players in as well. Lawrence is going to do the main presenting with me, apart from when I'm playing. That'll be on the Mark Goldbridge channel, so I'll drop the link at some point for that as well. You can also watch it on Sky Sports News, but obviously we'll be having different content because we'll be doing different things as well. You could have Sky on the main screen and us on your laptop. And as I say, if you want to get down there in real life, it'll be a great night. Link is in the live chat. Get your tickets. Arsenal. I think Arsenal have tried to play more on the front foot tonight. You do sense there could be a penalty in this game. I mean, I think Arsenal have been quite entertaining tonight. How is the referee giving a foul to Arsenal there when Gabriel literally stops in front? I mean, this ref's shit. But yeah, I think Arsenal have tried to play with speed. They know they're up against the low block. Newcastle just continually hitting Chelsea on the break. This is a dream for Newcastle at the moment. 1-0 up, sit deep and counter. They'll be looking to do this. It's almost like an audition for the new camp as well, because they can play like this in the new camp. Just soak up pressure and then counter. Do, do, do. There's a voice keeps on calling me down the road. It's where I'll always be. And every stop I make. Eze! That's going to go for a corner. No, goal kick. It's horrible to watch Arsenal, says Jay. Yeah, but I also think that what are Arsenal supposed to do against a team that is parking the bus? The problem we've got in the Premier League is that everybody's sort of locked into this counter-attacking low block football. And what Arsenal are trying to do is something they don't normally do, which is speed the game up. Go on, have a shot. Good save, Raya. Good shot, Lewis Hall. Not Lewis Hall. Oh, what's his name? You know what I mean. Tara Palmer-Tompkinson. Dewsbury Hall, that's it. Rest in peace, she's dead. I didn't even know that. I think she is. Yeah, not Lewis Hall, not Tara Palmer-Tompkinson, Dewsbury Hall. It was a good shot. I'll tell you what, Everton have got a fantastic away record, and hey, pulled him back, Saliba. I think the ref might be losing control of it here. Rajaf says, what's your thoughts on James Garner back at United? Well, he won't be coming back to United. He's just signed the new contract. Hit that well. Good save, Raya. I can't believe it, says David Moyes. Who's winning the Chinese Grand Prix tomorrow morning, says Claire? Mercedes. I think Formula One's in trouble again, isn't it? Last season was actually relatively competitive with McLaren and Ferrari and Red Bull. This season, we've just got two cars that are like a second a lap quicker than everybody else. Jacob says, I've missed his super chat. Blake says, clear penalty, didn't give because they don't want a red, says Blake. Predictions for Baller League, done that. Can't see a super chat from you, Jacob. Just been all the way through. Oh, here it is. Everton might have cracked Arsenal's corners. Stand your ground until the ball is kicked, then fall over at the first shove. Well, you know what, Jacob? It shouldn't be up to teams to figure out. It should be the league. Have you been to Glossop, Mark, the town? Says Tom McBride. I haven't been to Glossop. I feel like it's in Gloucestershire. It's a town in England, and it's near Manor Park and Tintwistle and Simon. I still don't know where it is. Oh, it's not. It's near Manchester. It's equidistant between Manchester and Sheffield. I never realised Sheffield was so close to Manchester. Newcastle got a corner here, and Arsenal have got a very good free kick position. Paul says, I'd love to get a result against Arsenal. Up the Toffees. Thanks, Paul. Chelsea trying to up the tempo here. I'll tell you what, we saw a worldie of a free kick last night for Mönchengladbach. And Declan Rice is not going to score a worldie of a free kick. It was very crap, actually. Has anyone been to Pontypandy? I don't think it exists. I think they were trying to look at a penalty for Newcastle there, but the referee says play on. Blatant penalty for Newcastle, says Ash. I'll tweet it just to wind people up. Chelsea top 4. How likely do you think this is, says Toby? I mean, results like this are brilliant for Manchester United, because this is what I was saying. I really genuinely think we don't even need to win every game. I think we can win one, lose one, win one, lose one, and we'll still get top 4. And we won't win one, lose one. We'll probably maybe only lose 1 or 2 more games before the end of the season. But the fact that Chelsea and Liverpool are just so poor just plays into our hands anyway. Good run by Saka. Corner. God, I'll tell you what, I don't know whether it's because we're watching 2 games, but it has gone very quick. 37 minutes nearly now. Do you think West Ham have got a chance against City, says Ben? I've literally predicted a win. Mosquera's coming on here. Timber's coming off. Will Spurs get relegated to shadow? I think Spurs' big game is Forest a week tomorrow. Assuming they lose against Liverpool and West Ham lose, I think that game against Forest becomes massive. Yeah. Thanks for all your super chats tonight. You can do that through the $sign. Appreciate that. We've got 10,000 watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. 64% say it wasn't a penalty to Arsenal. 36% say yes. I didn't feel it was. Chelsea on the attack with Garnacho. Gets tackled. Oh, Arsenal nearly scored from the corner, but it's just gone wide, and Everton will bring it away with Ngia. And it goes out for a throw-in. Jason says, I think Aston Villa will get top 4. Well, of course, Chelsea dropping points would be good for them as well. Tarkowski for England, he's annoying, but I would, says Red Devil Girl. What, England or you would? I think you're talking about England. I think Maguire's got more chance. Keith says, performance-wise, Man United aren't much better than Liverpool. Mate, I don't think... I've literally got a video going out at 7:30 tonight. I don't think United have been that good this season. I think we've had maybe 3 or 4 decent games. I thought Arsenal under Carrick, Man City under Carrick were really good. Liverpool away was very good. But yeah, we haven't had many good games this season. Oh, here we go. Everton on the break again. If he can stay on his feet, and he has. But Saliba is quicker and wins a foul. Goldbridge Ball starts on Monday, Pablo. Baller League. Very excited. There's a break in the Newcastle game at the moment for water drink. Water drink. presume it might be because there are... Might be for Ramadan, is it? Arsenal just need to be careful in this game because I think they've tried, but if he switches the play there... if Everton were to score first... Blitz says that Newcastle have been the better side. It's a lovely 1-2, that. And Gabriel is not going to have the pace on McNeil. And Rice, I don't know whether that was a foul. Declan Rice not happy about it. Does United's performance compared to their table position speak to a larger issue of lower standards in the Premier League, says K. Dirk? Look, I'm not going to knock it. I think from a United point of view, it's fantastic. But the Chelsea just had a free kick wide. The reality is that we've not been that good this season, and we've dropped a lot of silly points, and we're still in the top 4. I think Liverpool have been crap this year. Chelsea have been crap this year. Newcastle have been terrible this year. And that has opened up the door to United. I'll do that poll, Zubimendi and Gravenberch in a minute, Lars. Just got a free kick for Everton here that James Garner's going to whip in. It's good. But Raya comes for it, doesn't get it. Everton still have it. They're on the attack. And don't quite know why the referee stopped the game here. Oh, Saliba. I think he's a bit dazed off the pitch. Let's run that poll while that's happening. Well, they won't want a concussion. And I think Raya might have just glanced him. He goes with his fist. Yeah, that's gonna work. Of course, if he gets a concussion, what's the latest on Romero? And who else got one for Spurs? Because concussion protocol is normally a week, isn't it? And they definitely went off. Polina, wasn't it? Yeah, both out, yeah. David Moyes is not very happy because Saliba was off the pitch. Lord Mia says, who do you think is going to win the Champions League? I think right here, right now, I would say Bayern Munich. Here's Madueke playing off the left tonight. Good, the corner for Arsenal. Well, it's a close poll between Zubimendi and Gravenberch. Be just typical of Arsenal to get a corner. Well, they've got the corner. Someone in the chat, Michael, just said, when is Marino back for Arsenal? That looks like a good corner. Well handed away. Saka's first touch wasn't great. Madueke, another 2 blocks there from Everton. And then a shot over the bar by Eze. Marino is out for the season, according to AFC Iron. If Kane gets the Champions League World Cup, could he get the Ballon d'Or? Oh, 100%, Oliver, yeah. Considering Bundesliga for Bayern and ridiculous amount of goals, yeah. It's a bit like Mbappe, isn't it? Real Madrid, if they win La Liga, Champions League, World Cup, France, Mbappe could win it. England's only chance of winning the World Cup is to build it around Kane. So approaching half-time here. 1-0 to Newcastle at Stamford Bridge. And 0-0 Arsenal-Everton. In fairness, you could argue that Everton have had the best chances when you think about the save from Dewsbury Hall and the Dwight McNeil shot that was blocked and hit the post. I think Everton have certainly good for a draw. Why is the Premier League so boring this season? 2-stop start. Like that foul on Havertz there. I feel like you could let the game flow. I know it's a foul, but I feel like you could let the game flow because Arsenal have got the ball. Rosinia's right in his diary. They're losing 1-0, mate. Come on. I like Rosinia, but he's going to get it. Yeah. Well, Everton are looking at European football, aren't they, really? I mean, I don't know how low it can go, but I would say 8th. We'll get into Europe in the Prem. The trouble is, I just don't think teams like Crystal Palace, Fulham, Bournemouth, that was good play. Back into Zubimendi. Good tackle. 5 minutes added on. Bosky says when Palmer isn't clicking, Chelsea are toothless. Oh, no, Ganacho's not going to get there. Reverse pass by Saliba into Saka. Yeah, I think the Premier League is 2-stop start. And I'm not saying that they're not giving fouls at the right time, but some of the fouls are really soft. So if you just say, look, I'm going to try and get the game flowing, people won't go down so easy. Players know that referees give soft fouls, so they go down. If you stop giving them, they won't go down so much. Oh, Newcastle have broken here. Harvey Barnes, I thought he was going to shoot. Ramsey will. Deflection. Oh, keeper saves it. Sanchez. Newcastle pushing here. That's way over here. Well, there'll be pressure on Arsenal in the second half. Going in 0-0 at half-time. Turo says, Chelsea back to Maresca football with the passing and it's costing us a lot and it's painful to watch. I just think Chelsea, to me, lack that Osman. And I know a lot of Chelsea fans like João Pedro, but I think you spent a lot of money on wingers that aren't that good. When you look at your wingers, Gittins, Garnacho, Neto, I don't think they're that great. Esteval's never fit. Just imagine this Arsenal side could win a quadruple. And I'm not saying that to take the piss, like they could. Technically they could. Elizabeth White, thanks for being a member for 14 months. And RJ says, as we speak, who do you consider as the best team in the world right now? I think... Honestly, I wouldn't write Arsenal off. I mean, half-time in the Newcastle game, they're leading 1-0. I wouldn't write Arsenal off. They might not be pretty, but I don't think they're easy to beat. I think Bayern Munich are an incredible team. And I still think PSG have proven midweek that they can be a match to anyone. Everton have played really well here. It's a terrible cross, though. They've still got it. Ref's going to blow. He's got to whip that cross in. And that's half time. They've done well, Everton. They've done well. Cosmic Sev, if Everton win and beat Chelsea next week, we'll be in for a Champions League place, says Cosmic Man. I think Everton's big problem is their home form, isn't it? They've just not been able to figure that one out. Yeah, so 0-0 between Arsenal and Everton at half-time. 13 shots for Everton, and for Arsenal. I don't really feel like they've had 13 shots. Only 2 on target, 5 corners. So Everton definitely doing the counter-attacking low block we would expect. But I think that the big thing is really the fact that Everton have had the better chances with Dwight McNeil having 1 blocked and 1 hitting the post, and then the shot from Dewsbury Hall. So I think Everton have done quite well at the moment. And Arsenal just looking a little bit toothless again. I mean, I would love to see Saka just move a little bit quicker. Havertz, he's okay, but he's a little bit pragmatic in the way up front. Yeah, they're a little bit slow. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Just catching up on the super chats. Robert says, love Bundesliga watch-alongs. Hope you've got them next year. Yeah, I'll have to see, Robert. It's been great. I really enjoyed that. What a goal last night as well. Probably the best goal we've seen. What players do you see doing good this World Cup, says OTG? I don't know, because I don't know what to expect from the World Cup. I think it's a hard thing to predict because we've never seen a World Cup that big before. And does that dilute the quality of the group stage, which means there's more goals, which means people can stat pad, which means more players stand out? I don't know. I think the World Cup's really hard to predict, OTG. Elizabeth thinks that Everton could be in the top 4. Thank you, RJ. Shadow says, why is the Premier League so boring this season? I think we did that. Games, 2 stop starts, too much of a focus on set pieces and pragmatism, which is why, exactly why, there's been a... It was early January this year that this season had more 0-0s than the entirety of last season. And I think the reason for that is that, it's obvious. Why do you think we're getting so many 0-0s this season? It was middle of January when we had more 0-0s than the entirety of last season. And, the season didn't finish till May. So why are we getting so many 0-0s? And why is no one talking about it? Why aren't journalists writing about it? Why aren't the mainstream talking about it? Why have we had an incredible amount of 0-0s this season? And I think it's very obvious. Leeds can play like Arsenal. Wolves can play like Man City. Everybody can copy everybody because everyone's doing very similar things. There's not much of an identity in the Premier League this season. A lot of teams are focusing on set pieces. A lot of teams are focusing on long throw-ins. So if everybody's doing the same thing, naturally there's more chances of you cancelling each other out. 0-0s as well. I mean, if it was loads and loads of 4-alls and 3-3s, it would be harder to figure it out. But loads and loads of 0-0s shows that teams are cancelling each other out. And the fact that it's 0-0 shows you that not only are they cancelling each other out, they're able to stop each other. That's a massive, massive identity crisis for the Premier League. The fact that we've had a 0-0 already today, Bournemouth and Burnley. So, yeah, incredible amounts of 0-0s this season, and it comes down to the fact that there is not many styles of play that are problematic to most of the league because everybody's doing the same thing. 1 Inch Wonder says Sir Jim should start putting his teeth under his pillow to save up for the summer transfer window. Thank you very much, pal. Appreciate you. Hanad says that Saka is as bad as current Salah. And do you think they are cancelling each other out? Yes, YX. I think not only are they cancelling each other out, they know how each other are going to play. Look, I think when United were great, I'm sure every other manager knew what United were going to do, but they couldn't stop it. I think when Pep and Man City were great, everybody knew what they were going to do, but they couldn't stop it. When Wenger's Arsenal was great, everybody knew, but they couldn't stop it. Why is it this season so many teams can stop each other? Because I don't think the football's that great. The thumbnail is messed up, by the way. I don't know why the thumbnail is messed up, because on my page it's absolutely fine. And yeah, if you go to That's Football homepage, the thumbnail is Chelsea, Newcastle and Arsenal Everton with Cole Palmer and Tonali and Saka and Ngia. So I don't know what you're talking about. Now I've lost my live chat because I've had to go and check it. Gravenberch and Zubimendi, by the way, either or are locked on the same thing, which is interesting. Daniel Thompson with the super chat. Hope you're doing well, Daniel. He says, Mark and That's Football. Hope you're well and having a good day. You too, pal. You too. Keel says, bring back... I don't know why it's Newcastle and Barcelona for so many of you. I'm just going to... That's a YouTube glitch. I don't know why it's doing that. Hot take: Arsenal to not win anything this season, says Matchday with K. I don't think that will happen. I think Arsenal will win something. Just looking at the Arsenal penalty claim, I think it's the fact that he moves his foot into Keane. It's not a natural body movement. I think that's why. I've played the game, and I think he puts his foot somewhere. There's no doubt that there's contact, but I think he simulates the contact. And if you've played the game, you know what he's done, and if you've not played the game, you think it's a penalty. It's clever, and he might have got away with it, Havertz, but why was the referee in the Chelsea team huddle as well? Have you seen that? Yeah, I definitely think Arsenal will win a trophy. Yeah. Razvan says he steps on his Achilles. How is it not a penalty? As I said, if you've played football, you know exactly what Havertz has done. The question is whether you want to give a penalty. I think they're right not to give it, because I think he deliberately moves his foot into an unnatural position to gain the foul. The question is, does that still make it a penalty or not? I think. See, I don't agree with that. I don't think. Like Dan says, VAR said it wasn't a penalty due to normal contact in the box. I mean, that can't be an explanation. That would be incredible. You can't have normal contact in the box. Yeah. Johnny says Jamie Redknapp is wearing his dad's pants. It's the fashion, mate. Baggy trousers at the moment are fashionable for men and women. I don't know. I don't know about women's fashion. Keel Robinson with the super chat says bring back 4-4-2 and wingers. And Daniel, we've done that as well. Hope you're doing well. Mark, is it true you get 3.1 million per league placement in the table and only 1.8 million for winning the FA Cup? Yeah, that will be true, Kaya. Yeah, every position you finish in the Prem, it goes up by about 3 or 4 million. Yeah, true. If you were to change 3 things in the Premier League, what would it be, says Brad? Well, can everyone else do that as well? If I was to change 3 things in the Premier League, I would have proper automated offside, so it's quick, like it is in the Champions League and the Bundesliga. I would change the rule around fouls on the goalkeeper to stop these stupid free kicks. And because you can still score from corners, you just don't whip it in on the goalkeeper. And I would also put a time limit on free kicks, corners, throw-ins to get the game flowing quicker. And yeah, I'd be happy with those. I mean, I'd also tell the referees to stop giving soft free kicks. Let's get the game flowing. Because the minute you tell referees to stop giving soft free kicks, players will stop going down. You know that? My example of that is that, the foul in the corner. Like if I'm a right back and, I don't know, I'm a right back and Anthony Gordon's behind me and the ball's there and I'm in a bit of trouble. And literally, I just stand in front of the ball, Anthony Gordon touches me briefly and I go down and the referee gives a foul. If I was I'd say to the referees, stop giving a foul for that. Think about it. Why would a grown man fall on the floor because he feels a slight touch from behind in a position he doesn't want to be in? It's clearly a dive. Next time it happens, don't give it. And when the manager has a word, say, we're not giving them as fouls anymore because they're clearly not. It's simulation to win a free kick in a situation where they're uncomfortable. And then the manager will say to his players, stop going down in that situation. And then the game will flow more. But the PGMOL in the Premier League are so stupid, they don't realise if they stop giving soft free kicks, players will be told by their managers to stop going down because there's no advantage. And therefore, the game will flow quicker. Why was the referee in the Chelsea team huddle? It was weird and cringe and stupid. Do you think Arsenal have a full first attitude, says Minty? In the sense that they're always the first to fall. No, I think the most cynical thing I would say about Arsenal is that they are they haven't won a Premier League title for over 20 years. 22 years, and I think it's getting over that line, isn't it? When you haven't done it for so long. Ike says, I can see Terry's title Arsenal robbed. What, Terry the Arsenal fan? I'm allowed to say that because people say it about me sometimes. K Dirk, thanks very much for your super chat. He says that, here it is. Oh my God, that is cringe. That Chelsea team huddle with the ref in the middle is really weird. Really weird. I mean, they could have just moved. K Dirk says, who do you think Tottenham will go for as interim? Do you think United Spurs will get into a bidding war for Poch? I've heard Poch won't go anywhere pre-World Cup. I had heard that United really liked Pochettino, but I get the feeling that they might go for Carrick, so that would leave Spurs and Pochettino. I think Pochettino will be back in the Prem this year. I know that he wants to be in England, and I think he will be. Dean mentioned about the Chelsea huddle. Delap's coming on at half-time. I don't know who he's coming on for. One Riff says, how is the Ballers going? Well, we've got our team. We're ready to go. I'm excited. Minty said, I meant fall as in dive. Oh, dive first. Attitude. Look, I'm not going to knock that. I think if... I used to do it a little bit as well. I think if you're in the penalty box and you feel a bit of contact, why not? Sorry, I'm waiting for the Chelsea kickoff, and I've just realised I'm watching Arsenal Everton. I need to start the timer here, and it's going to be wrong. Let me get this right. Apologies. There we go. So, can they get a goal in this second half? Squirrel says cheat bridge. Well, it was 20 years ago I was doing it. Sorry, I'm just going to message Nico about something. Apparently, KSI has 6 franchise players from last year. Which is, you can only have 2. Dwayne says, how can you say that was not a penalty? He stood at the back of his foot. 70% said it wasn't a penalty, mate. So it's not, I'm not in the minority. What about sin bins in football marks as 1 inch wonder? No, that's not something I think we need. I don't think football works well with players off the pitch. I've never been a big fan of... Look, sometimes red cards are needed. I don't know whether you saw Nicholas Jackson's red card today. It was needed. And sometimes you have to give them. However, I always feel that when someone gets sent off, it can ruin the game. And I don't think that it necessarily opens up a game when it's when people go down to 10 men. One thing I would like to have seen in extra time was every 5 minutes a player going off the pitch. But I think it would absolutely kill people. Like, you'd be knackered. What film shall I watch tonight? And don't say Heat, says Ollie. Platoon. Watch Platoon. If you've never seen it, it's cracker. Enzo, good cross. Who did Liam Delap come on for? Do you believe in love? I think he came on for João Pedro. I think. No, he came on for Gusto. Change of formation. Gone more attacking. What was that Chelsea pre-match ritual with the ref? It was weird, River. That's what it was. Proper weird. War Machine on Netflix is meant to be quite good. Don't know whether it's my cup of tea. I want to tell you what film I want to watch, and it is football related. I want to watch that Saipan about Roy Keane in the 2002 World Cup. I don't know whether anyone's seen it or whether it's any good. Chelsea might get back into this. They've had a good start to the second half, but then Newcastle know how to break. St. Jimmy says Saipan is quality, Mark. Gravenberch and Zubamendi are locked on 50-50, and we've had 6,000 votes. Love from Kansas City, Mark, says Andre. Let us know where you're watching from. Yeah. Frora says with a super chat, problem with letting soft foul goes is it's too up for interpretation. Also, if you start letting things go, we'll be getting leg breakers every weekend. No. That's a total misinterpretation of what I've said. I even gave you an example. I think there are examples in the Premier League of things that get given us free kicks that aren't free kicks. In fact, we'll probably see one in a minute. If we watch this Arsenal game, when I see a soft foul, I'll tell you, right? Play on. But you're not going to end up with Westwood Ho. Shout out to Westwood Ho. It's a lovely place. I've been there, Griv. Lovely fish and chips. But you're not going to end up with more leg breakers. You'll still give fouls for that. Thanks for your super chat, though. Blazing Bullet says, on the weird huddle, according to ESB Online, Rosinia said the idea came from the players. I really like it because it shows unity and spirit. Apparently they did it prior to Villa win. Go figure. Oh no, the huddle's fine. It's the fact that the referee's in the middle of it. They huddled around the referee. Surely that's not a thing. David says, how would you describe your coaching style? Well, I don't want to give too many tactics away, but ultimately, I believe football should be played going forward. Not backwards. I think there's always a forward pass if you're confident. If you take too many touches, the door closes. You've got to be confident and move the ball forward. Oh, I tell you what, that chance I missed for Everton again. Everton have had more chances here. Reyes man of the match. What am I supposed to do? Sit around and wait for you. I can't do that. Don't know why I'm singing Cher. Who does that? 1 Inch Wonder says, I reckon you're Route 1 Dyche style. Definitely not. Hi Mark, are you perhaps interested in joining the new Harry Potter cast? Maybe as a Quidditch teacher, says Linda Orange. Is that a proper proposal? Because I would like to do some acting. think he'll be very good at it as well. Neil says Saipan is great, Mark, especially if you get Roy Keane, no nonsense, professional attitude. I wish it was streaming platform. I think you have to pay for it, don't you? I was looking there. What's all this? Sorry, I don't want to. I'm just going to get rid of a couple of trolls, but ow! I think I've got a spot on my head. I think it's all. I don't know whether it's because I'm doing the Baller League or something, but I've noticed a lot recently. Like it's almost like 8 years ago. There seems to be a lot of comments under my posts and stuff about you're not even a United fan, and I'm like, it's really water off a duck's back. I mean, the United Standard's got nearly 2.25 million subscribers and has been around for 10 years. And That's Football's got 1.5 million, and we don't even talk about Man United. So it's really water off a duck's back. But I don't really understand where it's all coming from again, because it was sort of 7 years ago, and it was started by a rival person on Full Time Devils who made it up. And that was the origin story, and it's all seems to be coming up again. Somebody must have tweeted something or something. I saw a tweet last night that Talk Sport got rid of me because all the presenters were bullying me, calling me a Forest fan, and I'm like, okay, I mean, I can release the emails if you want. They offered me a year 3 and I said no. And every presenter at Talk Sport, I tried to go on their show and they wouldn't go on the show because they were scared. I mean, I literally turned up to Talk Sport to do the 4 o'clock show drive with Bent and Goldstein threw his toys out the pram and wouldn't do it. 1 Inch Wonder says, Simon Jordan paid me to write about you. Simon Jordan's all right. That could have been a penalty for Newcastle there. I don't think it will be. God, Voltamada's playing for Newcastle. I don't know whether that's a good idea. I tell you what, he's letting the ref in the Chelsea game's letting this game flow here. Another corner for Arsenal. Look at these corners. Look at them. Declan Rice, he's gone deep. I'll tell you one team that's going to be good on set pieces though, Everton. Arsenal trying to move the ball quickly. That's their best tactic. What game's better, says Az. I think that could have been a penalty on Anthony Gordon. Needs to be careful for Fafana because he's on a yellow card. Chelsea and red cards again. Got to be careful. With growing popularity of US football in Europe, do you think fantasy is growing too? I've started playing Champions League and Bundesliga and it's been fun. Another corner there, cleared away. Is US football growing in Europe, Dirk? I'm not fully aware of that, but I think lots of people do like fantasy football, and you can... Gyökeres and Martinelli are coming on here for Arsenal. Seventh corner for Arsenal here with Saka. Nicholas Jackson's red card today was horrific. Like, the player had to go off injured. It was nasty. Of course, the longer this game goes on... Oh, Eze. Oh, no, he didn't. I thought he caught him in the face. João Pedro, deflection, corner. It's Madueke. Needs to be direct. Into the box he goes. It's a great run. Unlucky with the cross. Calafiore, edge of the box. He's going to shoot. Another block. They really should be sponsored by Lego. Saka. Ooh. Just came loose, but Garner's there. There. That's the soft foul I'm talking about on Gabriel. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Get rid of those fouls and see what happens. You know, Gabriel there just waits for the contact and falls down because he knows the ref will give it. That's the foul. Get rid of that foul. Stop giving that foul and they'll stop doing that and then the game will flow more. That's exactly the foul I'm talking about. It's not a foul. Gabriel's just doing it because he's under a little bit of pressure and doesn't want to pass it back to Raya, so he wins the foul. Nick P with the super chat says, your brand is growing, Mark. It's the go-to Goldbridge first response. I heard he's a Forest fan before they discover the man's real content. Yeah, probably. Funny thing is, I've actually got a picture of me and an Everton fan when I was in an Everton kit when I was 6. And I've posted it before, and no one ever says, he's an Everton fan. There's literally a picture of me in an Everton kit when I was 6. And I think I have posted it before. I have it. But it doesn't fit the lie that was put out there by this full-time Devils jealous content creator. And you know why he did it? Because I'm from Nottingham. So, Forest fan. But I literally have a picture. My first ever kit was an Everton kit. And there's a story behind it. It's in my book. But there is a picture of me in an Everton kit when I was about 6. But I can be honest, I've got absolutely no care for Everton. And ironically, I'm actually banned from, well, I presume I'm banned from the new stadium. I was banned from Goodison Park for some unknown reason. It was the V-neck NEC. And it would have been about 1987. Cole Palmer's just had a bad tackle here. Michael says, I loved your book. I only read 5 books in my life in full, and that was one of them. Thank you, pal. I think Cole Palmer was trying to win a penalty for standing on Voltemader's foot. There's no way that's a penalty. You trod on his foot. You can't have a penalty for that. Rosinia's praying. He probably hasn't seen the replay, to be fair. Chris said it was a penalty for Chelsea. Well, from the angle I saw, it looked like he trod on his foot. Not the Newcastle player. It looked like Cole Palmer trod on the Newcastle player's foot. We're getting into interest. Oh, Eze. Shot. Pikford beaten. Just wide. Is the City lineup out? It should be. It should be. 8 o'clock kickoff. Yes. So they've done it in number order. So goalkeeper Donnarumma, you've got Kushanov, Gehi, Al-Nouri, and Nunez. O'Reilly, Silva, Rodri, and then Mamouche, Semenyo, and Haaland. Yeah, he's made a few changes, hasn't he? We're live for that at 8. Gravenberg has beaten Subamende 51% to 49%. That was a long either or. Very long either or that was. Nick P says, I've also got an Everton kit when I was 7. My mum got it for me by mistake, thinking it was a nice top and shorts. We share a really weird story. Exactly what happened to me. So basically, my mum and dad separated in late 1986. I went to this school and we played in a tournament the following summer. So it must have been summer 87. And we played in a tournament and our school was quite small and we didn't have a kit. So basically the PE teacher said, just turn up in a blue kit. We're going to play in blue. So I said to my mum, because she worked in Nottingham, can you get me the Man United third kit? It says Sharp on it in white and it's got a blue V-neck. Because at the time United had red, white and a blue kit. And we'd been into Redmayne and Todd in Nottingham City Centre about a month earlier and they had it. Anyway, she came home with a blue V-neck, white writing on it, NEC, Everton. So I wore it. And that's the picture of me in the tournament. If you check my Instagram post, I did one of those what were you like in the 90s, and I think the second picture is me when we won the cup final when I was 16. Orange kit. We had an orange kit. It looked all right. I don't know what we did in that team because the year before we played in like a Celtic kit. It wasn't Celtic's kit, but it was green and white hoops. And then that season it was like Dundee United. I think our club must have been obsessed with like Scottish football or something, because the kit seemed to change every year. Nomad says cool story, but the football's on. I know, I am watching them both. Everton have got a corner here. I mean, it's not scintillating in the Arsenal game, let's put it that way. Claudia's got a £20 bet that Fofana gets sent off. It's probably not bad value in these last 20 minutes. Anyway, Everton with a corner. And they should get away with a... Oh, no, Everton has still got it. And you see, there's another soft foul. They got to get rid of these soft fouls. This is what's killing the league. These little I've been touched go down fouls. They've got to get rid of them. I've also another substitution here for Everton. We've only got 23 minutes to go. How are Arsenal playing, says Dream? They've been all right. They've been all right. I think their big problem is that they've been quite unimaginative in the attack. One to another. Sister and a brother. And I feel changing the way I feel. Low scoring Premier League day, by the way. We've had 4 games today. and we've only had 2 goals. Brighton winning 1-0 at Sunderland. Bournemouth and Burnley drew 0-0. It's 0-0 between Arsenal and Everton, and it's only 1-0 between... Oh, great shot by Gordon. Good save by Sanchez. And only 1 goal in that game as well. Why have you gone with West Ham beating Man City? Because I'm so far behind Robbie, I need to start doing brave things. And I just feel like it would be typical if Arsenal drop points for Man City to go and do the same. But Arsenal haven't dropped points yet. Great result for Man United, by the way. Great result for Liverpool. Great result for Villa. If Chelsea lose here, or even draw, it's still good for us, because if we beat Villa, we're 5 points ahead. That's how the league table looks at the moment. Chelsea on 48 points. 3 points behind Man United and Villa, who play tomorrow. And Liverpool, who play tomorrow. So Chelsea could find themselves marooned in 6th place if they lose this game. Newcastle would only be 6 points behind them as well. Maybe Newcastle could have a late charge into Europe. But this is Liam Delap. Good block by Tau. As for Arsenal, 8 points clear. But Man City would have 2 games in hand. And if they win them 2, they'd only be 2 points behind with the game at the Etihad. So... could all be change. This Arsenal game is the type of game where you have a great chat with your mates at the pubs as one and only. Call me. I couldn't help it. Call me by my name. Call me by my number. Put me through it. I'll still be doing it. I can't sing. I used to be able to sing. I can't sing now. I can't get the pitch. "20 minutes to go." Didn't Arsenal draw against Everton last season? See? I don't think that's a foul either. Yeah, I think that's soft. I think you play on there. Just say play on. Arsenal have the ball. The game goes on. We're still watching football. Paul Ward says, I think you're an unbelievable YouTuber. Maybe the best. Maybe. Thinking of starting. You're thinking of starting. Mate, I tell you what. We are absolutely not desperate. We are definitely going to start another... I've not done it for about 2 years, and we used to do it all the time. Beth, Levin, Flex, Saeed, you know, all these people started off nowhere and basically became YouTubers because we gave them the platform on the United stand, and they... Goal! Oh, it's missed! I thought it was in. Arsenal. No, Keane. It was at the wrong end. I was at the wrong end then. I thought it was Arsenal putting it in. It was an Everton chance again. I've just realised it was an Everton free kick. Oh, I tell you what. That was close. Oh, Everton have had the best chances. More substitutions here. Hincapié, and he's going for Dowman. I know a lad who's played against Dowman. He says he's a right big head. I mean, look, that's third-hand information, but... So I know one of my mates' sons plays under 16s for, I can't tell you which team. And he said, he's a nice lad, and he said, I've played against Dowman, he's a right big head. And I said, well, you probably would be. You know, he's played for Arsenal. Then again, I think a lot of... I'd probably be a massive big head. Would be. If I was 16 years of age playing for Arsenal. If you can't be a big head at 16 playing for Arsenal, when can you be a big head? But yeah, going back to what I was saying there, we haven't done a recruitment drive in ages, so definitely looking to. I'd love to get a couple of people half as good as me on the United stand. That's the problem. Just finding anybody who's even relatively good, because most people just copy, and I'm not looking for copy. I'm looking for talent. The lap is terrible, says Alex Scott. Kenneth says, I bought the Denmark away jersey at Petticoat Lane Market for a tenner years ago. The half white and half pinstripes one with the chevrons on the arms. Yes, was that not World Cup 86? Oh, Delap, I've seen the chance there. Delap. You know what? Every time, it's nothing against Chelsea. I'm not digging Chelsea out. But every time I see Delap, I think that could have been United. You know, this was Jason Wilcox's priority signing. And every time I see him, I think that could have been us. Rajaf says, Arteta bringing on Max Dowman is insane aura. Oh, the Sidemen are doing a draft this year for the Sidemen charity game. No, I won't be, no. Not after what I said to KSI. Got no chance. Eze shoots wide. Yeah, I'm more than happy with Sesko over Delap. I think Chelsea fans would be happy with Sesko over Delap. Arsenal fans would love winning cups and Spurs relegated, says Sabah. Alanga coming on for... I tell you what, whatever happens for Newcastle, obviously they're going to want to win and maybe get a late charge to the great shot by Eze, but Everton will clear. Obviously, I think, you know, Newcastle would love to win this and try and have a late charge to Europe. But I also think that they've got... This is really good preparation for Newcastle in the new camp middle of next week. Because Chelsea will play... You know, they've had to defend and counter, which is what they're going to have to do in that game as well. Have you seen AJ Analysis YouTube? Would be great on United Stand, says Leon. No, I'll take it a look, mate. Thank you very much. Sorry, I've got a stream scheduled. Sorry, no, not scheduled. I've got a video scheduled at 7:30. I just want to make sure it's set. It was 86 World Cup, yes, and Southampton had Villa had it, says Kenneth. Yes, I remember Villa having it, yeah. Who was it? Was it Hummel then? Yeah, that's no way a handball either for Chelsea. They're scraping the barrel if they're trying to get penalties for that. I can see Chelsea getting a late equaliser. Close there. I tell you what, this is getting exciting. Only 10 minutes to go. Chelsea trying to get an equaliser. Everton trying to get a winner. In fairness, Everton have had the better chances. Ant and Deck are at Stamford Bridge. Ant looks like Deirdre Barlow. She's been resurrected. Arteta will be getting stressed. The way Arsenal are playing at the moment. Kalenko's down injured here. Look, I've got nothing against Chelsea, but I think from a Manchester United point of view, and I'm sure Villa and Liverpool fans will feel the same, Chelsea dropping points is great for us. Whether we get it by hook or by crook. Gordon, shot straight at Gordon, Sanchez. Yeah, it's just look at the league table. It's good for us. I've had it stuck on there for ages. Don't forget, by the way, we're sponsored by Boohooman today. You can get an extra 10% off with my code Goldbridge. So go to boohooman.com. They will have discounted items, but the 10% works on top of any discounted item anyway. I'm wearing my Boohooman hoodie, which is a staple for me. Very, very nice. You can get it in different colours. They've got loads of stuff on there. Baggy trousers, baggy tracksuit bottoms, whatever. I've got loads of them now. It's the style. No more skinny jeans. Not that I ever had any anyway. I am live with you at 8 o'clock. We've also got live on United Stand at 7:30, straight after this game. So get yourself over on there. And then back here for 8 o'clock. I think Chelsea are becoming what Spurs were. It's funny how Sir Jim Radcliffe is so obsessed with Chelsea at Man United. And Man United fans do not want us to follow the Chelsea model at all. But why would you be obsessed with the Chelsea model that was basically invented by, Todd Bowley and Blue Lake? And it doesn't work. This has got to be a goal for Arsenal. Eze tries to go wide. Dowman. Oh, that was your moment. Lacey, mate. Lacey hit the bar from there, outside the box. You've hit it over the bar. Demba. Clear Lake, not Blue Lake, sorry. Same outcome. That was terrible. Look at Arteta clapping. That's fake acting, that is. He's thinking, fucking hell, I put someone else on. Hi Mark, just started creating football content. Well done, Touchline. Ash. Hope it goes well. Touchline Ash. King 7th says, I think Chelsea becoming what Spurs were. Just by the way, I've not said this on the entire show tonight. Please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. We're only 35 subscribers away from 462,000 on the road to 1.5 million before the end of the season. So please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and share the video. We're trying to get to 1.5 million before the World Cup. Arsenal are going to need to do something late. I think they are going to do it. I think Arsenal will get a late winner here. But if they don't, what an opportunity for Man City. What are we thinking, everybody? I think they'll get a late goal. Churchline Ash says, I took a picture with you at the Clapham Grand, hoping I'll be as big as you someday and maybe even join your team. I was at the Baller League draft last Monday, and this young lad presenter for Sky News said, Goldbridge, will you just give us 5 minutes talking about Carrick for Sky News? And I said, I'm happy to, no problem. Anyway, while I was talking to him, he said, I actually used to write for your website years ago. Massive follower of the United Stand. And I thought, well, that's great. So, you know, you never know where your journey's going to end up. Double substitution from Everton here. Don't know who these are. Yeah, I've just got a feeling Arsenal will get a goal. Armstrong and Roll. And Hello says, you need to check out Molina's goal for Atletico if you haven't already. There we go. There's a note to everybody. Could Everton get a sneaky one? Well, if they do, can Chelsea get an equaliser? Still got about 10 minutes to go there. Garnacho's still on the pitch. The bad thing for Chelsea is that they've got to try and score 3 more goals than PSG in the middle of next week, and they've been attacking against Chelsea for 70 minutes and not been able to get an equaliser. Nice ball into Martinelli. And Everton will clear it. Let's see, that's a soft foul as well. Dumfries says Max Dowman goal and 92-minute Eze goal coming. Mark my word. So it's going to be 2-0 to Arsenal. I don't know about that. Moonlight says 19 shots for Arsenal, but only 3 on target. Well, it's tense in London. Both London clubs need a goal. Chelsea losing 1-0 to Newcastle. It's a bad week in the Champions League for Chelsea. Battered in Paris and now opening the door to finishing outside. I mean, Chelsea might not be in the Champions League next season, which would be catastrophic for them. Who would leave Chelsea if they don't get in the Champions League? Who would they sell? You'll end up with Garnacho as captain. Pablo says, I heard you'd oil up if Chelsea drop points. No, not quite. It's a good job United ain't got to win the league for the next 10 years, so you've got to put up with us till then, says UK Camouflage. Oh yeah, there is this story that I'll quit if Man United win the league. I think that's more psychologically. 88 minutes. How long's going to get added on? Touchline Ash says when people say, oh, it's a goal! It's Gyökeres! I told you! What is Pikford doing? What is Pikford doing? What an absolute prat. That is huge in the title race. Absolutely huge goal for Arsenal, that. And it's Gyökeres with the easiest goal he'll score in his career. Huge goal. Absolutely huge. I said it. I said 5 minutes ago they'll score. They'll definitely score. I don't think they've deserved to. I think Everton have had the better chances. But what does Pikford do here? This is why I never really rated Pikford. Why is he coming for that? Doesn't need to come for that at all. It's a good cross by Dowman, but he doesn't need to come for that. And it ends up being an open goal. There'll be nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with that, and that's a huge goal for Arsenal. Arteta celebrates. Is there a handball in it? I don't think so. I'll tell you what. You know what? For Man City though, I've been in many title races a long time ago with United, but that psychologically for City, you're 6 minutes away from a huge boost, and then they go and get a late goal like that. And I say, you know, say lucky goal. It's not lucky because it's a mistake by Everton, isn't it? But you can sense in that crowd a huge weight lifted for Arsenal. This is where they'll start believing. This is where they'll start believing. The crazy thing is, if you've not been watching it, 8 minutes added on at Chelsea. If you've not been watching it, this is... Everton have actually had the best chances. Raya's made some great saves. What a goal in the title race. That crowd has come alive. You can tell, just looking at the Arsenal crowds, you can tell that they know that goal. It's another game gone. It's another 3 points. It's another difficult game gone. And it's important that they can go to the Etihad and not be in a position where they need to win themselves. Paul says, I'm not going to be a YouTuber anymore. Arsenal just killed my dream. Martinelli, and that's a corner. Look, I think Pickford's a good goalkeeper, but oh, what a free kick that was by Reece James. Did you see that? Thudded the bottom post from about 30 yards out. I think Ramsdale would have been beaten. Isn't Arteta the cringiest manager ever, says Mo. He's just desperately trying to get over the line, isn't he? Peter says, I'm sure this team is the reason I've gone bald. And thank you very much. Six minutes added on at the Emirates. 2.5 to go. About 3.5 to go at the bridge. It's going to be a big win for Newcastle if they can get it. Disappointing from Chelsea if they can't score at the Bridge. Lewis Hall absolutely bullying Garnacho there. Joshua says it's crazy how a 16-year-old has to raise the level. Everton are going to make a late sub here. I mean, what could have been for Everton? They had some good chances, but that's why you have a top-class goalkeeper in Raya. Calafiori made a great block as well. Look, watching the game, Everton probably, well, did have the best chances. And Arsenal's goal was scrappy, but 1-0 win when you're playing bad, who cares? What? SBD says Arsenal are the worst winning team to win the league ever. They're in the box though, Everton here. Good feet, Michael Keane. Good block. Good tackle by Nkape. It's results like this that make champions, says Shinobi. Come on, you Gunners. From Panic says, you definitely have a few grand on Arsenal to win the league. No, I would rather Arsenal win the league than Man City. I will always say that. I don't want Man City winning another title. And they're more of a rival. And a corner for Everton. Also, I predicted Arsenal would win the league in the summer when no one was predicting it. So when I do my Premier League predictions at the end, and I go, I predicted this, I can sit there and go, that's one of the hottest takes ever. I don't think they play good football. I mean, but I think the Premier League's shit this year. I think the standard in the Premier League is shit. I don't think that's just Arsenal. I think it's everybody. I don't think you can blame Arsenal because the league's not been that great. And I've seen Arsenal play good football and not win the league. They're going to score again, Arsenal. And it's going to be Dowman. What a moment for him. What a moment. 16 years of age. What a moment that is. You can't argue about that. That is a moment for Arsenal and him. Scoring a goal at 16 years of age in a game like that. Incredible. Did well as well. Did well. Well, some people in the chat are saying easy goal. But he still had to go past a couple of players. Look, Pikford was up for the corner, so the break was always on, wasn't it? Imagine what he's feeling now. But that can happen. You know, it was never a 2-0 game. It was never a 2-0 game. But Everton had to go for it at the end. A corner came in from Garner. Martinelli wins it. See, he does well here. Yeah, he goes past two players. I mean, good goal. Look at Arteta. We're still playing in the Chelsea game. Someone called that, says Dylan. No, they said Eze was going to score, didn't they? As well. So they didn't get it right, totally. Final whistle there. Arsenal win. Let's just quickly go to Chelsea because it's over there as well. Chelsea losing. Newcastle winning. Arsenal winning. Big day in the Prem. 2 good 5:30 games. there. Absolutely fantastic. Chelsea in trouble in their Champions League quest. Rosignol trying to get that penalty on Palmer, but it was never a penalty in my opinion. Pressure for Chelsea. Newcastle, maybe an outside chance of scooting up on the rails. But a fantastic result for Arsenal. Absolutely fantastic. Right, get yourself over to United Stand because we've got a live show at 7:30. Get yourself over there. We're back on here at 8 o'clock for the Man City game. I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching. Take care.